Let's begin by taking a long, slow, deep breath through our nose, holding it for 1 moment, and then breathing out through our mouth for 11 seconds. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Close your eyes and breathe out. Just breathe normally. Keep your eyes comfortably closed. Just allow yourself to feel any sensations that you might be feeling right now. Perhaps the temperature of the room, or the chair, or the bed that you're lying in. Notice the clothes on your skin. Become aware of your breathing and your heart rate. And while you're sitting there or laying there listening to the sound of my voice, you can just let yourself go. Just release any and all tension that you might have. Just be absorbed into the sound of my voice. And imagine yourself to be more relaxed than you have been in a very long time. And just breathe. Just let yourself go. Be absorbed in the moment. And let everything else fall away as you breathe normally. Open your eyes now and just stare straight ahead. Listening to the sound of my voice, I'm going to say the word relax 4 times. And each time I say the word relax, a wave of relaxation will go over your entire body. You go deeper and deeper, more into tranquility, more into peace, more into relaxation. The 3rd time I say the word relax, comfortably close your eyes again and just go down all the way. And the 4th time, all the way to the bottom. All the way to the most peaceful state that you can. Relax. 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 Close your eyes and relax. And as you breathe normally and hear the sound of my voice, find yourself in a comfortable position. And if you need to adjust at any time during this meditation, feel free to do that so that you are always the most comfortable that you can be. Any adjustments you need to make, you'll make. And just return to the deepest, most peaceful state of relaxation that you can. Just breathe. Go deeper and deeper. As you exhale any tension or difficulty or pain. And as you inhale any peace. Inhale relaxation. Inhale focus on good feelings that you want to have. Yourself go deeper into this wonderful state of relaxation. Is simply where you let go of all the tension in your muscles, are simply relaxing all the way down into the depth of your unconscious mind. Any feelings that you might have or sensations. And just be mindful. This is simply being aware of where you are at this moment. Just let your eyes be comfortably closed. And let any and all images that I suggest, any and all sounds and smells, come as vividly to your mind as they can, so that you can be immersed in the depth of this wonderful experience, all of the wonderful capabilities of your unconscious mind to make everything as real as possible. you may have a wonderful and deep experience. The changes that are going to take place starting now and generalizing into every aspect and part of your life. Just imagine for a moment that you are on a gravel path leading up to a beautiful mansion. And you've passed the gates. And in the middle of this path is a giant fountain with water spraying into the air in such a beautiful way as to catch the rays of the sun and creating a rainbow in the mist. And as you walk around this fountain, you can feel the droplets of water simply landing in the mist all over your face and your arm. And perhaps it's very refreshing and very rejuvenating. And as you walk up this path, just notice how beautiful the day is. How the lawn is freshly mowed and it has that freshly cut smell. The sun is warmly in the sky. It's a very welcoming, warm, reassuring sun. And the rays cleanse your skin and make you feel so good. And there's just a puff or two of white clouds and a very deep blue sky. You can hear the gravel crunching under your feet as you simply walk past that gate, past that fountain, into a wonderful upper garden with all sorts of beautiful flowers and trees. And you notice the flowers of all different shapes and sizes are simply straining themselves to get all of the sun that they can. And you look up at the sun and close your eyes. Just feel the rays feeding you with life and light, truth and peace. That's right. And as you continue your journey down this gravel path, you see steps leading down around the mansion to the lower garden. And as you wind around these steps, you notice that there are 10 of them, and with each step you'll go deeper and deeper, more and more relaxed, until you find yourself in this lower garden. As I count 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, descending the staircase, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You find yourself in that lower garden of relaxation and peace. And there, in the midst of this wonderful lower garden with all sorts of new plants and flowers and trees, you see a swing chair. It looks so comfortable because it has these big velvety cushions. You sit in that wonderful swing chair and sink all the way into these cushions as you swing back and forth in a soothing, wonderful manner. You feel so comfortable and so safe. From this time forward, anytime you need to feel safety, anytime you need to feel good, you can remember being in this swing chair in this beautiful garden filled with the aroma of all the different flowers and plants, being heated by the warmth of the sun, nourishing the plants and nourishing you. And just be. Feel safe now. Let this image form as clearly as it can, with all of the beautiful colors, with all of the wonderful sounds, with the feeling of that cushioned swing chair underneath you, the beautiful aroma of the flowers. You notice that the gravel path continues past the beds of beautiful flowers, and there are birds flying in the sky, and little grasshoppers going from flower to flower, hopping around. You notice at the end of the gravel path is a hedge with a big door and a brass handle that leads into the mansion. And as you walk up to this door with the brass handle and you turn it, and you open the door and walk through, you are walking into a beautiful atrium that is at the front of this beautiful old stone mansion. It's almost like a cathedral inside, with windows high above the room, the very edge of the ceiling, and a huge cavernous ceiling with all sorts of things on the wall. And you notice the sunlight coming through the windows, and there are crystal chandeliers hanging from the cavernous ceiling that again catch the light and transform that white, warm, soothing light into beautiful rainbow colors on the wall and on the floor. It's so wonderful in here. And you notice on the wall that there are all sorts of pictures, and there are bookshelves in this room, and there are photos. And some of the photos are happy and joyous memories that you might have. Wonderful times in your life, from birth to childhood to teenage years to adulthood. All the wonderful things that are represented in photos and paintings, in books of memories. And in between all of them are also bad memories. Times in which you were hurt or bullied or insulted. The good and the bad are mixed together all over the walls of this very large, wonderfully lit room. In the middle of this large room is a wheelbarrow. It's a big wheelbarrow, big enough to contain just about anything. And at this moment, I'd like you to go around the room, and I'd like you to collect all of the bad memories, all of the images that remind you of the bad times, of the times in which you were hurt or bullied or abandoned or left behind. Clearing out all of the photos, all of the pictures, all of the books. And I want you to put all of those bad memories that you are either conscious of or unconscious of into this wheelbarrow that is big enough to hold them all. And I'll be quiet for the next minute or two as you walk around and take all of these things off of the wall and place them in this wheelbarrow in front of you. That's right. Once you have every bad memory represented in these photos, in these pictures, in these books, once you have them all collected into the wheelbarrow, notice that at the end of this large cavernous room is a red door. And taking that wheelbarrow, you pass all of the wonderful remaining good memories on the wall, all of the wonderful remaining good photos and books, and you take this wheelbarrow full of all of the bad things that have ever happened to you, and you walk toward the red door, which automatically opens. And you push the wheelbarrow through. And you notice that there is a very large furnace in this room, and that red door shuts behind you. And as you face this furnace, you can feel the flames coming from inside of the door. You can see the flames in the furnace. You can hear the furnace roaring. At this time, I'd like you to open the door to the furnace and feel the blast of heat. And I want you to take each object out of the wheelbarrow, and I want you to forgive it. Forgive the person that gave it to you. Forgive yourself for having accepted it. And I want you to throw it into the furnace so that it is incinerated and burned up and is no more. Take each object and do it in sequence until they're all gone, until they're all in the furnace and all burned up. And I'll be silent for the next few moments so that you can do this until your wheelbarrow is completely and totally empty. That's right, and as you shut the furnace door, having burned up all of these bad moments of your life, considering them so they can never be recovered, notice to the right a blue door, again with no handles. And as you leave the furnace and the empty wheelbarrow behind, the door automatically opens for you, and you go through. And you notice that the door leads to the shoreline which this house is built. And as you walk along the shore, you get to the beach. And just notice the wonderful, rhythmic waves of the sea rolling in. It's so peaceful and wonderful. And just stand there and take in this beautiful scene. Notice again that clear blue sky, the wonderful sun that's just warming you perfectly. It's a welcoming and warming sun. The waves crashing in just ever so slightly. The feel of the sand underneath your feet. And just notice how you feel taller. That crumpled, weighed down feeling is now something of the past, is gone. It's how you simply used to feel. And you can take off your shoes and feel the sand in between your toes. Maybe you feel like running along the beach or playing in the water, splashing around, and just do that right now if that's what you feel like doing, because you feel so much freer than you used to. But as you've burned all of those things behind and left them in a place where you can no longer access them, that you just feel this freeness. And as you finish walking and playing in the sand and in the water, you notice that there is music coming from the distance. And you look down and there's one of those very long piers with a fair all around it. It's just a few minute walk from here. And so walking through the sand, you walk closer and closer to the sound of that music, to that pier that you see. And you start to see people, as tiny dots in the distance. And as you get closer, you begin to smell the diesel of the generators running all of the rides and the games and the lights. And as you get closer, that smell is overcome by the smell of hot dogs and hamburgers, French fries. As you get even closer, sweet smell of cotton candy, of ice cream, of funnel cakes fill your nostrils. It's just a wonderful thing as the music, the wonderful, happy music gets louder and louder. And as you walk up to that pier, you can enter the fairgrounds. And you notice there are so many people walking around, happy people, both old and young, from children in strollers all the way up to the elderly. And as you walk into the fair that runs along this pier, people are turning towards you and smiling. They're so happy to see you. You just notice how they keep looking at you and seeing their big, beautiful eyes looking at you and smiling with all of the wonderful feelings. And as you walk along through the fair and you hear all the sounds of the games and you see all the sights and you smell all the wonderful food, you notice a tent that has a sign above it that says Hall of Mirrors. It's a huge tent. And as you walk into this Hall of Mirrors, there are hundreds of mirrors in all shapes and sizes, tiny little mirrors all the way up to huge, tall mirrors. And you notice something funny. This Hall of Mirrors, the images aren't distorted. They're real images. You're seeing the real you as you want to be. You're seeing the real you that once all of these changes have taken place, once you have let go of all of the things of the past, once you have incinerated them, you're now seeing yourself as happy and healthy, as someone who is absolutely attractive, who is bold and assertive, confident and happy. These are not funhouse mirrors. These are real mirrors, both tiny and huge, showing you the version of yourself that you want to be, that look at yourself, absorb the reflections because you are seeing the real you. And just take a moment to examine yourself from all the different angles as you look around and see all the different mirrors reflecting your reflection, which reflects the reflection. And just be really happy with the you that you see. The you that has accomplished everything that you want to accomplish, has become the version of yourself that you want to be. And just absorb that deeply within who you are. When you are finished and have absorbed this wonderful version of yourself that you see in all of these mirrors reflected back to you, it's time to go. And as you walk out, there's one more full-length mirror by the door, and the reflection is the ideal you. And just look at yourself one more time, that ideal version, that assertive version, that fit version, that happy version, the confident version, the version that has overcome all of your obstacles and difficulties, the version that you desire so deeply to be. See that in the mirror now. And notice that reflection comes out of the mirror and melts with you perfectly, making those changes on the very deepest level. And as you walk out of the tent, notice that the people again start smiling at you, start looking at you, start watching you, and they're just mesmerized by you and so happy to see you that some of them come over and smile at you, and some of them shake your hand. Some of you pat you on the back. And you just notice how much lighter and freer that you now feel as you walk out of the fair and back to the beach. And as you walk back along the beach, back to that mansion, notice your footprints that you originally left walking toward the fair. They're so deep as they walked toward the fair, but as you walk past, notice your footprints now are so much lighter, so much easier, so much more ginger and wonderful. You are the you that you always wanted to be. This feels so good, doesn't it? And as you walk along this wonderful seashore again, hearing the waves lap along the beach, feeling the sun, feeling the breeze off of the water, warming you, comforting you, you can take a moment and sit in the sand, just watch the waves come in. Just imagine a year in the future, a year after all of these changes have taken place, all of the things that your life will be. What do you want to see there? Who do you want to see there? Just take a moment and imagine that life that you will have in a year, and it will come to pass, because if you will it, if you believe it, if you do it, it will come to pass. Just take a moment to see your future. Bring those images into the present. Bring them into your heart. Make them real now, because you can start living the life now that you wish to have. There's no reason to wait. Live the life you want right now. And standing up, you walk past that water back to the mansion, and you notice the sand dunes. And as you walk over the sand dunes, you notice a path back to the large wall with the gate to the house, to this wonderful old stone mansion. And as you walk to this door with a very large brass handle, you turn the handle and walk back into the lower garden. All the smells and the birds and the little grasshoppers and the hummingbirds going from flower to flower. And you go back to that swinging chair, that one with the large velvety cushions, and you sit, but you notice you don't sink as low as you did the first time you sat in that chair, because you're lighter and you're freer. And whenever you need to come back to this safe spot, no matter where you are in your life, you just have to think of this wonderful swinging chair, its wonderful soft cushions, and you will instantly feel safe and secure. Getting out of this beautiful chair again, you walk across the path to the steps to the upper garden. The same steps that you walked down before, the same steps that wound around the house. As you walk back up the steps, I'll count from 1 to 10, and you'll simply go back to that upper garden as I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Walking back into that upper garden with its gravel pathway, hearing the gravel crunching under your feet. Seeing that beautiful, wonderful fountain with its rainbow droplets of water, the beautiful trees, the wonderful flowers stretching themselves out toward the sun. And as you walk past that fountain, feeling the droplets of water in the mist covering your face and your arm, you see the gate that leaves the garden. And just before you get to the gate, you notice that there's a waste bin right beside the gate. And so you look at that waste bin, you realize that you're wearing an old, tattered coat, which is the last vestiges of the hurt and the pain that you used to feel. It's time to get rid of this now. As you take off these old, tattered rags, you throw them in the wastebasket. And with a flash, they're completely gone. As you look to the left, just before the gate, there is a coat rack. And on there is a brand new coat. It represents your new life, the new you, all of the new wonderful resources that you have. And as you take that coat off of the rack and put it on, you notice that it's tailor-made for you, that this is your new clothing, this is your new life. And while only you can see this new garment, others will see the changes in you and begin to look for people to notice those changes. And the more changes that they notice, the more you'll notice. And the more that you notice, the deeper and more profound the changes will be that you will make. Taking all of these new experiences and integrating them deeply within you, that you are now able to live the life that you want and be the version of yourself that you want to be. Truly and really, you have put on this new person, that you have gotten rid of all of the anger and hate and difficulty in your life and only retain the hope and the focus for your new life with these new garments, that all the other things are thrown away in that flash of light. You walk out of the garden into your new life. And when you have begun to integrate all of these things, when you have installed all of these new understandings and learnings, then and only then can you come back to full waking consciousness. If you are listening to this at night while you're sleeping, you can simply walk into your dreams and wake up as the version of yourself that you are.